for us. JoyNews, together with the amalgam of professional bodies, brings you a conversation that speaks to everyday life. Centers of prosperity at the center of the world. A closer look at how better city management can drive economic growth. Join the main speaker, David Ofosu-Dorte, as he breaks down what's not working and what must change. Wednesday, 6th May 2026 at 5 p.m. Live on JoyNews and all our social media platforms. Better cities don't happen by chance. They are planned.
It's midday, good afternoon, and welcome to News Today. I am Emefa, Akosua, Adeti. We're coming to you live from our studios here in Kokomlemle. We're also live on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 125. Coming up this afternoon, minority petitions, IMF over BoG losses, and rise in policy cost warns of fiscal risk, possible debt pressures, and threats to Ghana's post-program stability. Details as they call for tighter IMF oversight, transparency, and safeguards as Ghana exits program. As well in the bulletin, bulldozers are tearing down illegal buildings at the Accra-Kumasi Ramsar site in a decisive move to protect the wetlands buffer zone and cut flooding in the area. We're live to our reporter on the ground monitoring the exercise. There's anger in Weija as residents protest an opened children's hospital 2 years after completion. We're JoyNews. We're independent, we're fearless, and we're credible. Please stay for details.
Imagine a family without a home.
Many thanks for joining us on the news today. Now, former Finance Minister and ranking member on Parliament's Finance Committee, Dr. Mohammed Amina, statements. Now, he warns that worsening losses, a deepening negative equity position, and a rise in monetary policy costs could undermine fiscal stability, increase future debt burdens, and weaken the gains made under the IMF program if urgent reforms are not implemented. Now, this follows recent exchange between the majority and minority in Parliament over the stance of the central bank after posing nearly 16 billion cedis loss last year. And my colleague Maxwell Agbagba joins me via Zoom for more on this. Maxwell, what exactly are their concerns?
Well, the former finance minister has raised at least 10 concerns. He argues that the Bank of Ghana did not, he says that the Bank of Ghana is heavily insolvent with negative equity worsening by about 35 billion Ghana cedis last year. He says losses are rising despite higher income driven by very high open market operation costs, which signal weak monetary policy and hidden fiscal pressure. He also claims that the bank is relying on one-off gold sales rather than real improvement, with volatile and opaque gold transactions masking weak underlying performance. Now, large valuation losses and collapsing revaluation reserves, according to him, are further weakening the balance sheet. He wants that recapitalization will increase government's debts and that central bank losses could eventually become public debt. He also flags quasi-fiscal activities and questions whether IMF program gains are sustainable after exit.
Well, Maxwell, and he's asking the IMF to do what?
He's calling on the IMF to take a stronger role by requiring a clear and transparent recapitalization plan for the Bank of Ghana, so there is a defined path to fix its balance sheet. He wants the IMF to treat central bank losses as a real fiscal risk in Ghana's debt assessment, not something separate from government finances. He's also pushing for clearer measure of the bank's financial health that excludes one-off items like gold sales to show the true underlying position. Now, in addition, he's calling for greater transparency in gold transactions and monetary operations so they are fully visible to Parliament and the public. He wants stronger safeguards to prevent indirect financing of government spending by the central bank, along with tighter oversight of accounting practices. Finally, he's asking for a post-program monitoring framework to track these risks and prevent them from building up again after the IMF program ends.
Right, Maxwell, we'll definitely see how that goes. Thank you. Meanwhile, the majority in Parliament has been defending the BoG chairman of Parliament's Economic Committee, Eric Afful, addressed a news conference a while ago, blaming the loss on the distress facing the economy.
Focusing on not only on accounting outcomes, but also on the broader macroeconomic results. We on this side of Parliament, majority side, especially members on Economic and Development Committee, remains committed to our oversight responsibility and will continue to engage the bank and the other stakeholders to ensure sustained economic stability, transparency, and accountability in the management of Ghana's economy. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you.
This afternoon, several illegal buildings sitting on the Sakomo or Ramsar sites have been pulled down in a decisive move to protect the buffer zone and mitigate the impact of flooding in the area. The operation, led by the Forestry Commission with support from the Greater Accra Regional Security Council and the Tema West Municipal Assembly, is expected to end on Thursday with the protected area cleared of all such structures. Now, speaking to JoyNews during the exercise, the Greater Accra Regional Minister Linda Oklu stressed that authorities will not relent in enforcing the law this time around.
As we are concerned, ours is to protect Ramsar site, and that is exactly what we are doing. No mercy for anybody. I mean, we keep on preaching this. I mean, don't buy lands at Ramsar. Why would you even invest in an illegal site, knowing very well that at a point in time, I mean, people will come after you? And so it's a caution to others. We are pleading. Even where we've demolished, the previous one we've demolished, some of them we've been told that structures has been raised. And so we have a lot of work to do, trust me. We have a lot of work to do. And like the manager said, we are going to be here for 3 days to make sure that all buildings, I mean, within the core zone will be done. You know, sometimes, I mean, we don't care about whether you get permits or not, because those permits were given previously before we even assume office as ministers and what have you. And so I don't know what went into that for them to give them that permit, knowing very well that this is a core zone. And so, like I said, this is a green belt for us, and we are here to protect and make sure that all Ramsar sites, not only here, within Greater Accra, is being protected.
She also disclosed that some individuals who attempted to resist the demolition exercise have been picked up for questioning and further scrutiny.
Some people came and the military have to escort them to the police stations.
How many people?
I cannot tell, but I mean, I don't know the number, but a lot of them came. And so this time around, like you said, we have to arrest to serve as a deterrent to others.
So are you confirming to me that people have been arrested?
Oh, not really arrested, but they try to stop the exercise. And so we have no option than to pick them up to the police stations, and that is it. Later I will let you know. I mean, we should also hear from their side of the story, where they are coming from. Because this morning, before I got here, I received a call from an unknown person who said he's also there's a building for him here, which he bought it from TDC, you see, and he also have permits, and so I said he should bring the document, and let's review the document, and then we'll pick it from there.
Let's now go live to the Ramsar site, where my colleague Fatal Bayaga is still monitoring developments. Fatal, tell me, the Forestry Commission has also been speaking about this exercise. What exactly have they been saying?
So, according to the Forestry Commission, they are not going to take this activity lightly. They are going to ensure that all illegal structures situated within this particular area are cleared. In fact, they say that they've been doing this over the years, and it looks like the people around here, or some of these developers, have proven to be very stubborn, and they are not going to, relent on this now. All of these structures will be demolished, and in fact, they will take further steps by ensuring that they situate or station officers here who would be monitoring the development. In fact, he said that this area could have been a major tourist site for a lot of people, which could have generated revenue for the nation, like done in other countries. But because of the activities of these unscrupulous people, it's making that particular dream, in a way, be affected. We can take a listen to the operations manager of the Forestry Commission.
The place is also useful for, livelihood activity for communities. So do we want to litter every space on this earth so that we are not able to live, the way we should live to have, the environment to serve us as a people? No, we wouldn't do that. Recently, I was in Brazil. I was shocked to go and see the Pantanal, one of the biggest wetlands you can ever see. Go and see what is happening there. There are a lot of tourists in there. Supposing we had left this place and bears are around, people come to watch by way of ecotourism. Can you imagine the trickling down effect of the economy on the community here? Look, come to think of it. Let's be serious. Let's not be sympathetic to people who do wrong. What is wrong is wrong. Building within a wetlands is wrong. Whether you have the permit from whoever is wrong. And that is why we are bent on ensuring that we drive everyone, every Tom, Dick and Harry doing what is not legitimate on the wetland will be driven away.
What is the area size under which?
Now, some traditional authorities in the area have also been raising concerns. Fatal, tell me, about what exactly?
Emefa, so basically, according to these traditional authorities, before this activity, before they undertook this particular activity, there was discussion among various stakeholders, including the Forestry Commission. And what they agreed on was to set up a committee to educate the chiefs and the people about the core zone around the Ramsar site. So they were thinking that activities should have been undertaken for them to know where the boundary is, among other things. So it comes to them as a surprise that the authorities would begin to demolish these structures without that proper stakeholder conversation to let them know clearly where the boundary is. We can listen to one of the chiefs.
What I'm saying is that we were informed, but the roadmap was that there must be a committee, the Forestry Commission, all the stakeholders, so that we go around and earmark the core zone. As they are breaking down, I don't know the core zone. And he said they are doing a random demolition. Yes.
So it means that you don't really side with them in relation to taking this action today without proper engagement.
That is it. That is it. Because some of our subjects who have their buildings here. Now, if I'm telling them that we are going to do the core zone, and they ask me that where is the core zone, what do I tell them? So when you come there, you just choose, okay, break this one, leave this one, break this one, leave this one. As he said, you heard him say that. That is our position. At least we must have a fair idea of the core zone. Now when we are talking to our subjects, then we know what to tell them.
Now, Fatal, quickly before I let you go, how many structures have been demolished so far?
Emefa, so several walls have been demolished here at the moment. As I speak with you, some 2 buildings are currently being demolished right here at the Ramsar site. So just behind me, you see this tipper truck, this caterpillar truck, clearing some of the debris after these walls were demolished here. And I'm told that this is going to continue from now till Thursday, and all illegal structures situated here preventing the free flow of water, among other things, would be cleared to make sure that this place looks so nice again, to attract people who may want to come to the Ramsar side, particularly to play golf, among other things.
All right, thank you, Fatah. We lost the sound, but we definitely bring you those numbers in our subsequent bulletins. And away from that, a devastating fire has swept through a cluster of fitting shops at Mempasam, a community in Accra-Kumasi, destroying more than 100 motorcycles, 10 vehicles, and at least 15 container shops. The incident occurred in the early hours of Monday around 2 a.m., leaving a trail of destruction and forcing victims to count their losses. Properties worth thousands of Ghana cedis had been reduced to ashes before firefighters could bring the blaze under control. Eyewitnesses say they are unable to confirm the exact cause of the fire, but they suspect it may be linked to the persistent power outages in the area, which they believe could have triggered an electrical fault. According to the residents, the fire affected a wide range of businesses, including a laundry service employing about 30 workers, 100 artisans and shop owners who depend on the area for their livelihoods. Let's get more from my colleague Joseph Obeng. Joseph, what's the situation as we speak now?
Emefa, as we are speaking currently, the artisans are still counting their losses, and fire service are still on investigation, looking for the cause of this tragic incident at a community called Mempasam, a suburb of Aswati in the Aswati constituency in Ashanti region. As you read in the report, the incident occurred on Monday, the early morning around 2 a.m., which the fire razed all the shops close to the area and a motor fitting and a car fitting shop, which has caused a lot of cost to the artisans in the area. According to some of the artisans speaking to JoyNews, they said none of the authorities have been able to visit the scene after the incident happened, and they are still calling on authorities to come into their aid to assist them to come out from this huge cause. Most of them are saying, especially the laundry service you talked about, it has over 30 workers. And aside that, the manager of that shop has about 50 people's items with him working on it, and this fire has razed all the properties out. So this has become a huge cost on them. Currently, the situation is still there, and most of them are trying to come out of this devastating fire. But, the amount that has been lost in this tragedy is very, very huge. If you are to quantum it, is almost millions of Ghana cedis, and they don't know where to get this, to get a support.
Joseph, did you meet the firefighters when you arrived at the scene? Did you?
Yeah, when I went there, the firefighters has already been there to quench the fire, so they weren't at the scene. But according to the report I heard from the eyewitness, they told me they are on investigation to publish the cause of this incident to the public.
Thank you so much for bringing us that report from the Ashanti region. Now, personnel from the Ghana Armed Forces Engineering Unit have begun clearing land for the planned new Accra-Kumasi Expressway. During a briefing as part of a visit by the Chief of Defense Staff, CDS, or what you know as CDS, the project engineer, Major Evans Baini, said 17.75 kilometers, representing 10% of the work, had been done during the initial mobilization phase. Major Baini further assured the CDS that with funding secured and most of the necessary equipment already on site, the clearing exercise is expected to be completed within a 20-week period, starting from the 23rd of April 2026.
The Accra-Kumasi Expressway is planned to link the Greater Accra, Eastern and Ashanti regions, passing through several communities including Ablikuma, Adiembra, Adeso, Asamankese, Asante Achiase, and Sewua. Briefing the Chief of the Defense Staff, Major Evans Baini, explained that this clearance exercise, along with related ancillary works, forms a key phase of the project and is intended to enhance feasibility while supporting both preliminary and detailed engineering design studies. He further stated that 4 separate teams will operate along the entire corridor, working continuously both day and night. He also noted that challenges such as heavy rainfall, dense vegetation, poor visibility at night, and delays in the compensation valuation process could affect progress. Nonetheless, he expressed confidence that the project's timelines would be met.
I would say that we are 5 weeks into the clearing operation. 2 teams have currently been formed, as I mentioned, with Team A heading towards Accra and Team Bravo towards Jedemwa. And so far, the team have cleared a total of 17.75 kilometers, which is about 10% of the total work that we are supposed to execute.
Project coordinator Major Edem Anku stated that all necessary administrative and logistical arrangements have been completed to ensure smooth execution of the project. He added that the troops are fully prepared. The Chief of the Defense Staff, Lieutenant General William Ejapon, expressed confidence in the ability of the team to deliver.
So we have come all the way from Accra to come and commend you for being in the field all this while, waiting for the right equipment for us to commence this particular project. Now that we have everything, all is set for us to push ahead, make sure we meet our targeted KPIs, and then do a good job so that we can be able to clear the right of way for the Accra-Kumasi Expressway project itself to take off. But with what I've seen so far, I want to commend you for your yeoman's job. We know it's been difficult, you have left your families, but you are the guys who are now lifting up the flag of the Ghana Armed Forces once again. This is our contribution to the development of the country, and let's do it to the best of our ability. Our engineers have been top-notch all these years, but now that we are being given the opportunity to show what we are made up of, let's do it and do it well. So from Accra, from the service chiefs and all your colleagues, we are happy with what you are doing, and we have come to commend you and to encourage you. So keep it up, okay? So make sure that in your dealings, especially when we come across some farms and properties, let's be sure that they have been assessed by the valuers already, and we've been given the go-ahead before we go ahead to destroy them.
Bastian wrote, the Minister for Roads and Highways, Governs Kwame Agboja, has assured residents of the Upper West region of government's commitment to fix the deplorable Sola-Wa Highway. The assurance follows a meeting between the minister and members of the concerned citizens of the Upper West region in Wa. The group raised concerns over delays in the project, citing the failure of the contractor Maripoma Limited to commence work more than 6 months after the official sod-cutting ceremony. Now, one of the conveners of the group, Abdul Basit Cambodia, said residents were frustrated by the lack of progress on the critical road. Responding to the concerns, Mr. Governs Agboja stated that government was not indifferent to the plight of the people. He disclosed that the contractor had been summoned to Accra on Thursday to demonstrate commitment to the project.
The section you described, Sola, all the way to Wa, was awarded to Measures Maripoma in 2024. Truth be told, apart from the installation of the asphalt plant, and by the way, last year, myself and my deputy and everybody visited this same road, and were given the assurance that look at the size of the asphalt plant, which is probably one of the biggest in the country. And that day, a number of vehicles were parked there, and then when we left, no work was done. So I can understand your skepticism about whether what you saw on the road in the past 3 days was real or was meant to deceive. I can guarantee you, no contractor can deceive us. We are not part of those. interested in slogans and optics. We want real results. Roads are such that when you build them, people see them. In fact, even if they are building the road and myself and my deputy didn't come here, you will know the road is being built. It's not virtual, it is real.
I'll take you back to the Ashanti region. Our police in Mamponting in the Ashanti region are investigating the severe assault of a final year student at Amaniampon Senior High School by his housemaster. The student, Emmanuel Kwarting, was reportedly beaten for refusing to attend a compulsory all-night church service on campus. His family, confirming police involvement, says the attack left him with serious injuries requiring hospital treatment. The matter has been reported to the police and investigations are underway pending a medical report from doctors. Now, the family is calling for the immediate interdiction and compensation of the accused teacher pending the outcome of investigations. Let's get on Zoom and speak to my colleague Clinton Yeboah, who's been following this issue. Clinton, first of all, let's remind people, for those who do not know what's happened, what exactly happened?
So for final year students at Amaniampong, it became a ritual that every Friday night they have a watch night. And this Friday was one of those nights that they wanted to have the watch night. And in the process of, in fact, getting to the end of that particular night event, the teacher in question, Mr. Jemfi, who is also the chaplain and the religious coordinator of the school, decided to check on students who were deviant and didn't attend the watch night. And so he chanced on the particular question, the boy in question, Emmanuel, and caught him sleeping in the dormitory. Now, witnesses' conversations that we have had indicated that the agitations or the whole clash started from when the teacher found out that Emmanuel did not just skip the watch night, but also was possessing a phone. And so in the process of wanting to seize that particular phone, brought the whole incident. And we have been speaking to the mother, we have been speaking to the father. They explained that the situation has left the child in a very dire situation as we speak. He has developed a red eye, and also he's a little unable to walk by himself. And so even this morning, from the house to the hospital, he had to be carried on a stretcher from the home to the hospital.
Well, Clinton, I'm sorry to hear, and we know that the family is seeking a few things, certain damages, though the investigation is not done. You want to run us through, and have you as well engaged the school authorities?
Yes, I've spoken to the assistant headmaster for administration, Mr. Prempe. He says that the school is taking dire attention to this particular issue, but they are also have taken recommendations, and they will be forwarding reports as according to or as would be given by police to the municipal director of education in the municipality.
Finally, before I let you go, the family say they want what? Can you walk me through their demands?
First, they want interdiction of the teacher even before investigation starts.
Okay.
And after investigations, they want to be compensated for the medical bills they have incurred.
Okay. Thank you for bringing us update from the Ashanti region, Clinton. And we'll be following that story and we're bringing you subsequently. Now, smoke from fish processing at Chorkor is raising serious health concerns for women who spend hours working in it daily. Experts warn the firewood used releases harmful chemicals linked to cancer. Even as the fishmongers say they're ready to switch if viable alternatives exist. But efforts to introduce cleaner options have largely failed, leaving them caught between their livelihood and the risk. Emmanuel Jivenu has more in today's Climate Evidence.
I have come to this fishmongering hub in Chorkor to see how my favorite smoked herrings are processed. It's barely 10 minutes and already my eyes begin to stink, then teary. They turn red quickly, forcing me to blink through the smoke. difficult to keep them open for long. And yet, the women here stand in it for hours, working through the same smoke that I can barely handle for minutes. 27-year-old Doris Mensah spreads fresh herrings on the wire mesh as she helps her grandmother. Fishmongering is a generational business, and this is the life she knows.
Great grandmother didn't start, then grandma take over. Nibia ne mami ni yo ewo bia ne nke mami nke grandma e sound nibia ne mami ba take over ewo wo fe wo wa we no wo ya wo ke ya school ke no fia no.
This family business has fed generations, but now it is slowly taking a toll on her and the family.
Ke fie wo na menefio wo na chake mo fio ye la ye ke la sun mo ke ye wo actually wo nye wo
Doris's grandmother, Manti, turns the fire, feeding wood into the oven as smoke rises around her. She has worked here for years, breathing it in every day. And now, Doris stands in the same smoke, learning the same trade.
Last one, I last week no jo no chumo onyo pa she last one mo film ni shalo ko te ko le wa complo oyinbe kan last one.
Whilst you are smoking that fish, you are taking in 2 packs of cigarettes every day. Now think about it. This is for you, an adult. What about the child who breathes in faster? So that child takes in the smoke more, takes in more of the smoke. It affects that child more. And for you, the woman, it does not spare you.
The smoke that we see is just some pollutants in the air. So once these pollutants are emitted into the atmosphere, they affect the ozone layer, right? Because they are poisonous, they are toxic. And once the ozone layer is affected, then, of course, there's global warming, because the layer that is supposed to protect and shelf the planet from the intensity of the heat is affected. So once there's global warming, what happens further is that there is a melting of the ice cap and the glaciers. And these are the cold areas in the North Poles. Once these areas are melted, then they produce the extreme weather events, including sea level rise and all this flooding that we talk about.
The smoke from the firewood contains dangerous pollutants, including polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, toxic compounds produced when organic materials burn incompletely. Some of these chemicals are carcinogenic, capable of causing cancer. For the women here, exposure is not occasional. It is daily, for hours.
Unclean cooking can lead to lung cancers as well. So this is not just about environment and energy problem. It goes beyond that, and the health angle, we need to look at it.
To keep the fire burning, the wood must keep coming. Every day, large quantities of firewood are cut, transported, and consumed, feeding a system that depends on smoke, but causing the environment.
Gas ebe loju gba ni ke ba bele nwe e fi ole fa ke fa benisa ni ene ke ema like it won't use like yes and efe gas efe na kai.
The reliance on firewood is contributing to deforestation and worsening air pollution. In Accra, air quality has already reached dangerous levels. Fine particulate matter, PM 2.5, has been recorded as levels more than 10 times higher than global safety guidelines. Pollutions from household fuels like firewood is a major driver. For Doris, the challenge is not ignorance. It is a lack of viable alternative.
I use gas only. No ke fe na ka ko pe ejo.
I think for me, in terms of the taste or the flavor, the golden color that you described vis-a-vis the black, we can solve it through the kind of clean cooking stove technologies that we have.
Attempts to introduce cleaner cooking solution have largely failed, not because the women refuse change, but because the alternatives do not work for their needs.
Akufo-Addo ba fe no ko ha wotomo. No work gas asha na ka ba wonye. Onoji ni en wo fitele. Aya wonye wo kasha. Wonye wo kasha. Gas nye belo. Ola. To boy mako no shallow o e mako no ahe shitolo agbe. Ola, why stolo egbe ni ejo alo ni lo so kwa wo ko o do ifi o se na wa nya wo se to yen ni wo sha e ba ye 3 days that ba gbe talo go ko ato ko ha na egbe fe ba fte.
It's about balancing the livelihood activity in a way that whatever solution or intervention you are providing for them is able to accommodate their livelihood activity.
We cannot ask them to stop smoking the fish if we don't provide alternative. And for me, I think that is the big challenge here. We need to provide people with alternatives, and then those alternatives have to be cheaper, they have to be accessible, and then of course affordability. Which source of energy are they going to use? Should be energy friendly, and it should be earth friendly actually.
Now, the West African Examination Council is pushing back strongly on concerns around the conduct of the exams, insisting that measures are in place to preserve the integrity of the process. A total of 620,141 candidates are sitting this year's BECE, including 619,985 candidates from Ghana, made up of 304,273 males and 315,712 females. The examination enters day 2 today under heightened tensions following earlier logistical setbacks and demonstrations that characterized the start of the exercise. We'll hear from Weija shortly, outlining measures put in place to safeguard the smooth running of the remaining papers. But first, listen to the concerns of frustrated residents of Shama, Nyankrom, who blocked a major road in protest over the process. The regional correspondent, Ina Thalia, who joins me. Ina, what's the situation now?
Well, Emefa, today it's been peaceful compared to yesterday, where these demonstrators had to block the road leading to where it was supposed to take place. And this is an agitation to a long-standing complaint of their roads not being reachable, being so bad. And so the community, Nyanukrum, residents took to, bend ties during critical moments like yesterday. But today it has been peaceful. They are not back, though they had said that they were going to go back today and bend ties. I think authorities have spoken to them and they have not done that today.
Okay, but you'd say that currently candidates are okay, are still taking the exams?
Sure, Emefa, candidates are okay and they are taking their exams.
Thank you, Ina. Now, Head of Public Affairs, the West African Examination Council, John Kapi, explains that seven individuals were picked up yesterday for examination-related infractions. He has been giving an update to the provision of exam material to students with special needs as well. He spoke on JoyNews desk earlier.
He picked up 7 people yesterday who were involved in some form of infractions. 5 of them were mobile phone infractions, and then 2 of them were teachers one was actually duplicating responses that she intended to present to her candidates. The other one was actually in possession of responses to the questions, and in the process of walking towards the examination hall, he was apprehended.
Well, we also heard that 2 persons have died in the Upper West region, WAS to be specific. candidates. I don't know whether you heard about that, but in such situations, what roles does WAEC play in especially relations with their families?
When it comes to BECE, we do not have so much control regarding the districts and the way they manage their affairs, because BECE we conduct for and on behalf of the government of Ghana. So what probably can be done is that maybe the district authorities, in collaboration with our regional representatives, would pay a visit to the bereaved families and to commiserate with them.
Residents of Weija have today staged a heated protest over what they describe as the continued neglect of a fully completed children's specialist hospital in the area. According to them, the facility, which was completed 2 years ago, has still not been opened for use, raising concerns about access to critical health care for children. And Adobia Sari, my colleague, was there and joins me via Zoom to give me an update. Adobia, is the protest over? Are they still on? Is anybody hearing them at all?
Yes, Emefa, the protest is over. Because of the presence of their member of parliament, that's Jerry Ahmed Side, at the premises, that their concern has been heard, and they believe because we were there, the right authorities responsible for opening the facility will see it and listen to their plea. So what happened was that they did tell me, and I did see for myself, that a newly constructed hospital, specialized hospital for children, has been abandoned or left for about 2 years. It hasn't been opened, and the residents are angry. They're demanding answers as to why that is the case, because if the facility is it's having all the equipment necessary to operationalize, the question they're asking is why hasn't it not been opened yet? And they believe it's being politicized, which is not supposed to be so. So today they were just drumming home their grievances that they are losing their children, and some of them also believe strongly that aside from the child death that is going to be curbed if the facility is open, it's going to also serve as a source of employment. When the facility is open, nurses will have to be employed, pharmacists, and all other health workers, including cleaners, security guards, and the ripple effect. So they're just drumming home their grievances. They just want the right authorities to hear their plea, give them answers as to why it hasn't been opened yet. And if there's nothing wrong with the facility, their plea is just one: open the facility so that the children's life can be saved and the youth can be employed.
That is quite a clear and straightforward demand to those who are in charge. Adobia, thank you so much for bringing that story to our attention. You're watching News Today. Please stay for more.
Another week is here on the greatest of all time show. My name is Giovanni Clip, and Tonight, we're bringing you talent. Contestant number 1, let's bring Baby Girl. Let's bring. You did it for you.
Cut. Oh, there is a leakage.
Where's the plumber? For quality and durability, insist on Syntex pipes. If you want quality, this be where you belong. Strong, tough, and reliable. Your perfect match to your trusted Syntex pipe. Syntex pipe, it dey carry water, no wahala. Syntex pipe, it dey make water dey flow. Syntex, and you're strong, and you're tough.
Hello, my name is Pamela from Customer Service. Please revalidate your account by texting your Ghana card number to 0500,000 247.
Hey, Abili, wabadim.
Madam, give me the numbers behind your ATM card. I'm calling from the head office.
An email was delivered across to our customers this morning.
Confirm if this is your bank account. 100,100,100.
Thanks for sending your bank card details.
Send the OTP now to avoid cancellation.
EcoBank will never call, email, send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card, or Ghana card details.
Don't get played. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hello, please, I'm calling from Customer Experience Center.
Hey, welcome back to JN. Today's Time for Business. I am Michelle Ejekum. And to our first story, the Bank of Ghana has increased the amount of dollars it sells to the market over the past 1 week by significant margin. The move is part of the effort to deal with recent pressures on the Ghana cedi. There's more in this report.
The Bank of Ghana, since the beginning of this year, has been selling a little over $100 million per auction to the commercial banks. However, checks by Joy Business showed that last week, the central bank sold some $460 million to the market through its spot auction. Some market players have told Joy Business that the move by the Bank of Ghana was aimed at dealing with the current surge in demand for dollars by businesses and also deal with previous auctions requests that was not met by the central bank. Demand for dollars has surged over the past 3 weeks, coming from the energy, manufacturing, commerce, and mining sectors. Data picked up from the commercial bank showed that the Bank of Ghana in April last month sold some $1.35 billion through its forex intermediation program. From January to date, the Ghana cedi has depreciated by some 5.80% against the dollar.
Well, that's all for business. For more business news, please log on to myjoyonline.com. I am Michelle Ejekum. Please stay for sports.
When I was young, I asked my mother the secret of hair vitality and health. She said, the right food, the right exercise, the right amount of sleep, and the right blood tonic. Nescafe Blood Tonic is effective for the treatment of anemia, lack of appetite, and stressful conditions in both adults and children.
Nescafe Blood Tonic, the right family blood tonic. Another quality product from Ernest Chemists. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Mothers give us everything: love, strength, and life itself. And it's time to give back. Joy FM
presents the Joy Mommy's Day Out.
Join us on Saturday,
May 9th,
for a day bursting with thrills. We'll have your day packed with irresistible activities like paddle boating on calm waters, an adrenaline rush with horseback riding, quad biking, exciting safari tour, friendly competitions such as dance contests, and wrap the prize, a chance to meet the mysterious Ujafokwa crocodile revered as the protector, and to top it all off, a delicious feast of local dishes and drinks accompanied by the sensational sounds of the Ajinkor band. Come, let's crown our mothers with joy and adventure at the Crown Forest. For inquiries, call Lois on 059-1709-309. The Joy FM Crown Forest experience is proudly brought to you by the Crown Forest, where nature meets luxury.
Thank you for staying. It's time now for Showbiz. I am Loishola Adeyemi. Let's get into our stories. Now, hip life legend Reggie Rockstone has thrown his support behind Wendy Shay in the race for Artist of the Year at the 27th edition of the Telesol Ghana Music Awards, describing a potential win for her as a beautiful story for the industry. Speaking on Joy FM Showbiz A to Z, Rockstone acknowledged the competitiveness of the category, but noted that Wendy Shay's victory would be both refreshing and meaningful, even as he admitted that other nominees, including Medical, have also put in significant work.
Did Ebony ever win any?
Yeah, she won a posthumous Artist of the Year award.
What the hell? What is it? What word is it? What's that?
Posthumous. After she passed. Yeah.
After she passed. Yeah. Wendy Shay. It would be a beautiful story if Wendy picked it up. I'm just saying, from even the outlook, all of these folks mentioned. Of course, I would love for Medical too, because he put in a lot of work. All of them did, but it would be beautiful, eh? I'm just saying, it would make me smile really big. You know, I'm a sucker for her anyway, but I'm just saying, it would be. But I wish them all the best.
Well, also on Joy Prime, last Saturday's episode of Beats and Bars delivered another intense showdown, and this time the result was decisive. Mile 7's Melo Calaban faced off with Ashaiman's J Nice in a gripping rap battle that kept the energy high from start to finish. Both artists brought strong lyrical delivery, but J Nice won hearts all through the 3 rounds. With performances that stood out for its control and consistency, J Nice earned the audience's nod to walk away with 1,000 Ghana cedis cash prize.
Let's have round 1. Let's go, DJ Downs.
Hey, it's a whole white in there. Oh, so, yo, say me wipe them up like a blue clot wire. Me a the Ramos to me a friend, me no play with fools. Boy, you say inna the corner, me know my love, me no play with a duty. Money for my mind, so me hustle like a killer every night and day. I'm me up on the street, I remember. Say bada. Body we are bad, be a body we are bad. We just bustin' at the pier like a body we are bad. Calaban like a body we are bad. Look at the style there. So me just wanna check it out. I bust it up, I cock it up. Everybody wanna watch it up, me knock it up. I the money me a making, I will stop it up. Because some white shatter wale wagano. Yo, hey. So when badness I teach, one of them a try skip class. You know, them not know the thing go. I be the real lesson of the game in the kingdom. So no boy can show me how the thing go. Boy violate man, take I go sing them. Me no give a ear to them about chat. Me know them a poisonous, but them can't kill me. No, hey, them can't. Hey, M7. Hey, M7. Hey, watch out. From Mount 7 to the Achimota, nobody could never have a stop a gutter. From Chantan, we are just a runner. And the PS Calaban, we are just a buster.
Well, that's it for Showbiz. I am Loishola Adeyemi. Please, for more entertainment stories, do log on to myjoyonline.com. Up next is sports.
We bring sports now on JoyNews today with me, Muftao Abdullah. Ghana's sprinter Edwin Gadaye has accused the government of the country of throwing their weight behind only football. According to him, athletics is often allowed to suffer and athletes go through a lot to be able to represent the country despite the numerous resources available for athletes to be able to thrive.
Actually, coming here was kind of like an emergency call. Like, yeah, I had an emergency call, so I had to answer. Yeah, so when I had a call, I was like, no, this is not a time for me to deny this call, so I had to answer, and then I rushed here, and then I got here on Friday evening, like 7. So that time, like, I was exhausted, but I had no other choice to relax. Then the following day, we took it from there. So our plan was to qualify straight for the first round, but it didn't happen that way. But after the first round, we go back to the hotel and with our coach here helping us through our talks, and then the following day, it was yesterday, and we were able to qualify for the World Championship next year.
Qualifying for
we are pleading for, because it's been something that's every time, like, it's about football. It's about football. So
how does it make you feel as athletes? Like, whenever support needs to come through, if it's football, it's massive. If it's athletics, it's like we are
very
dropping.
Terrible. Yeah, because when we go for a competition, like, we normally bring medals, yeah, but when it comes to football, like blasters and all those stuffs, like, it's something that we cannot talk about. Even imagine just recent African Cup of Nations, they couldn't qualify. Just imagine. But when we make it to the world stage, like, we normally manage to bring something home, but the support that we needed is not coming like how it's going to the football. Yeah.
That is your sports for now. We've got more sports stories on myjoyonline.com, and we've also got a place where you can secure a ticket to watch the semi-final and the final of the FIFA World Cup. March Hospitality Experience. Get in touch on sales at marchexphospitality.com or call us on 055-155-11119 to secure those tickets to experience the FIFA World Cup or the semi-final stage. Emefa is standing by for the rest of the news.
Thank you so much, Muftao. We'll do this again, same time tomorrow. My name is Emefa Akosua Adeti. Thank you for watching the news. You log on to myjoyonline.com for more.